Welcome to the quick setup guide for the new JVC600U camera. The kit consists of both the Miller tripod and the camera case containing all the needed accessories. First, remove the tripod from the case and extend the legs all the way. Lock the spreader all the way, extend the pan handles, and balance the bubble level. Before we move on to the camera, be sure to lock the tilt head. Let's move on to the camera case. Step 1 is to remove the camera, and please note that the tripod base plate is permanently mounted to the camera. Loosen the slide lock and mount the camera. And retighten the slide lock. Next, remove the viewfinder bracket and be sure to lock it nice and tight so nothing swivels. Mount the viewfinder bracket on the top of the camera and screw it in nice and tight. Remove the studio viewfinder from the case. It's important we don't drop this, so I recommend holding it with your right or left hand as we mount it. Let's take it to the camera. Keeping a firm hand on the studio monitor, bring it up to the bracket, loosen the bracket, and screw it all the way into the bottom. If for any reason the bottom of the bracket becomes loose, tighten it up again, make sure both ends are nice and snug, loosen it and aim it in your proper direction, and retighten. Take out the bag with the HDMI cable. The cable's already been pre-shortened with Velcro and marked with the camera output here and of course the camera input up here. So we'll take the camera output cable and plug it in here, feeding the cable through the handle and coming through up to the back of the monitor. Next, we take out the zoom controller. Take out the brass screws, being sure not to drop them. Remove the back and place the controller on whichever handle works best for you. Bring the controller just up to the handle. The controller cable is velcroed around the handle. And bring the cable up and plug it right into the remote jack. Next step is to remove the power supply for both the viewfinder and the camera. You'll notice that both the camera and the viewfinder are marked in their own bags. Everything has been pre-prepped so they will stay in the bags and hang from the carabiner. Even the power cord has been pre-measured to fit the camera, and this is exactly how it should stay in the case. Clip the power supplies to the tripod and hang below. Let's bring our cables from both power supplies up to the camera and the viewfinder. So the last items in the kit are the batteries and the charger. We're going to use each of the batteries. One will be for the camera itself and one for the viewfinder. They'll serve as backups in case we lose power. They'll keep both the camera and the recording running. Before we do that, we should take out the charger itself and the charger power supply. And we're going to charge both batteries and get them ready for show. With both batteries charged, we'll put one on the back of the camera and one on the back of the viewfinder. We'll run a power cord up to the camera and put it on the hook here. And then we'll take our built-in power for both our camera and viewfinder and hook that right in. And now we're ready to go. This can't get pulled off. Our power is nice and secure and ready to go. If the camera is going to be used in an iMag setup, there's a custom cable already made that supplies both SDI line, audio for COM, and audio inputs into the camera. So to connect the snake, what we do is take the carabiner that's on the end of the cable and connect it also to the tripod. The extra slack will give us plenty of play for the cables as we bring them up to the camera. So the SDI line will come from the SDI output from the camera, and of course we'll have our audio inputs. They're labeled and they go into the camera. The JVC600U offers a great camera solution, but many of its parts are fragile, so it is always important that it be assembled and returned to its kit as shown.